Straight up to our top story that we're tracking on Mirror now. Are you waiting for people to die from dengue and chikungunya? This is the question Delhi High Court asked the local civic bodies over their unpreparedness to deal with the diseases. Now, the bench also observed that it seems that the local bodies do not care about ordinary people in the city. The MCDs were wrapped on issues of waterlogging and asked why only posh areas are being cleaned in Delhi. Now, the Delhi High Court also went on to say that civic bodies are not concerned about people, that the civic bodies are extremely negligent here. This is the second time the Delhi High Court is wrapping the civic bodies. Previously, of course, we saw Delhi High Court slam civic bodies on the fact that the reports that they had given to the Delhi High Court were false when compared to media reports. Now, of course, the Delhi High Court slammed civic bodies yet again, this time a very strong statement coming in from the Delhi High Court. Are you waiting for people to die from dengue and chikungunya? That is the question the Delhi High Court asked the local civic bodies over their unpreparedness to deal with diseases. Now, the bench also observed that it seems that the local bodies do not care about the ordinary people in the city. The MCDs were then wrapped on issues of waterlogging and asked why only posh areas are being cleaned in Delhi. Now, we have Anjali, an activist of Praja, on the phone line, joining us on the phone line. Anjali, tell us this, the Delhi High Court slamming civic bodies yet again. This time around, Delhi High Court has gone ahead and said that the civic bodies don't really care about people.
Evidently, see, if you see the data on what our civic bodies have been doing, there has been 10%, 25%, 12% increase in the complaints on, mosquitoes and complaints related to mosquito nuisance, fogging, pest control, and then also related to collection points. So, the places where they dump all the garbage, those points are not being treated, not being attended to. Complaints have risen, and if you see the number of questions and the number of times the councillors, the corporation has raised them, is abysmally low. For 11,000 complaints, our councillors have asked just 159 questions in the entire year. That shows how, there's no connect at all between what the people want and what our corporation is giving them.
Also tell us this, Anjali, time and again the Delhi High Court has slammed civic bodies. This time around, the Delhi High Court has gone ahead and said, asked this question actually, why only posh areas are being cleaned? So what are the problem areas, do you think, in the city?
Problem areas, if you see, this is one problem, the solid waste management, the cleaning part of it. This complaint is high in all the areas, in all the zones of Municipal Corporation of Delhi. This is one thing which has remained high for all of them. There are certain other complaints, which you will see are high in south, is maybe in the south or maybe in the east, but complaints related to solid waste management and mosquito fogging and all has remained high in all the 3 MCDs and in all the 12 zones of MCDs.
Anjali, also then, do you see a repeat of what happened last year? We know that chikungunya epidemic was at its worst, at its peak in 2016. Do you see a repeat of that? The monsoon has just begun.
Isn't that obvious? If you have complaints rising, if people have the same problem, nothing is being done about it, we are still not aware, we are still not, we are still not raising it. How is it not important for us? When people are dying every year, if nothing is done, the same situation is bound to come.
Do you see it getting worse? What do you think the civic bodies must do at this point? Because time and again, the Delhi High Court has slammed them for inaction.
If the administration is not taking steps, which is evident, what are our representatives doing? Are they raising questions? Should not they be raising questions? Should not they be following up with the administration that if you were ordered to do something and it is not being done, obviously the court now has to interfere and make them do it. But was it not the responsibility of our elected representatives to take it up every now and then? Why is it that when the court or the administration or the elected representatives are talking about it only during May, June, July? Why don't we talk about it in winters? Why don't we start working on it? Because this is not something which is new. This happens every year. People die, chikungunya, dengue, malaria. We keep talking about it every year, and the numbers show an increase every year. Every year.
Absolutely, the numbers might just increase and get worse this year. Anjali, thank you so much for joining us here on Mirror Now. But a very, very strict warning coming in from Delhi High Court. They're slamming civic bodies yet again. This time around, the Delhi High Court demands answers and asks civic bodies why they don't care about ordinary people and why they're only cleaning posh areas of Delhi. In fact, we'll also listen in now to Monica Arora, who is the lawyer.
The Delhi High Court today has asked all the three municipal bodies whether compliance is being done to pick up garbage around the city, due to which diseases like chikungunya and dengue are spreading rampantly in the city. In fact, I have with me the lawyer from the municipal body side, Ma'am Monica. Please tell us more about what are the steps that you will be taking now.
See, this is a PIL on which Delhi High Court has been constantly telling the MCDs to file status reports as to what we are doing regarding, number one, removal of garbage from areas, and number two, desilting of drains, so that mosquito breeding in terms of chikungunya, malaria and other diseases, they cannot be continued. So we have filed our status report saying that our domestic breed checkers are going house to house, checking and disinfecting the areas. Secondly, we are desilting the drains regularly. Now, certain reports have come to the notice of Delhi High Court saying that such and such areas still need to be addressed, the grievances. So we have taken that into account, and we are sure, we in MCD, and we are going to take this cleanliness drive on war footing.
Media reports constantly show that there is garbage lying around, while when the municipalities are asked to file a response, they say that everything is cleaned up.
You know something? So, Delhi High Court is not addressing the issue on an isolated basis. It is looking at the overall issue in Delhi as to what should be the comprehensive planning for Delhi, and that needs to be addressed. Hence, they have told MCD, Delhi government and the central government to file their reports on that, and we are doing that.
But ma'am, there's a master plan 2021 according
Yes.
to which plan development and desilting drains, in fact making of drains where there are no drains in unauthorized colonies, supposed to be done. So why isn't the municipal body corporations altogether, three of them, following the master plan 2021 when it is already there in place?
See, master plan 2020 is being followed 100%. What we are doing is, right now we are focusing ourselves at larvae elimination, so that this mosquito doesn't become adult mosquito and it infects people. If in certain places certain discrepancies are left, we'll address them on war footing, I can assure you that.
We've already been seeing that cases of chikungunya and dengue in the city have been rising, and just right now we received rains as well, summer rains, and you saw waterlogging throughout the city. So did the Justices bench also make an observation of that?
See, it was clearly mentioned that despite numerous court orders, no action plan has been submitted by any government department. In fact, all the status reports show that everything is perfectly all right, which is contrary to the reality which is there on ground. So therefore, taking into that account and the urban planning, it was clearly stated by the High Court that the urban planning was done without any regard to the constitutional provisions, and urban planning was not done in accordance with the DMC Act, and there was no provision for the parking being made, the sewerage system. So everything was completely there as was there in 1980s. It is 2017, so you need to change accordingly, which was never done.
It is also not just the cases of chikungunya and dengue. We see a lot of garbage lying around outside in the cities and the waterlogging. Plus, you also spoke about parking issues. But encroachment also remains a big problem, and that also comes under the municipal corporation.
Yes, in fact, it was clearly stated by the observed also by the bench of Justice Geeta Mittal and Justice Hari Shankar that the problem this problem has arisen only because of the presence of unauthorized colonies. Due to the formalities and the other portions of the government, unauthorized colonies are rising day by day. There are now about 1800 unauthorized colonies. So how do you go in those colonies when you have no sewerage when you have no water pipes, no connection? So how would you ensure that you will make sure that the roads are there? If the roads are not there, then obviously dengue and chikungunya and the garbage problem will rise.
High Court, they're demanding answers from civic bodies yet again, and this time around the Delhi High Court has demanded answers from the civic bodies. In the meantime, the experts, of course, believe that this time around, if this continues, then the situation of vector-borne diseases in the city will only get worse. On the other hand, the lawyer representing the municipal bodies, of course, said that they will be looking after issues on war footing basis, something that we'll keep a very close watch on here on Mirror Now.